So we got some big news dropping in terms of the final patch that Blizzard is now going to drop before the War Within goes live. But before we do that, I want to talk about a little something here that just came out. Blizzard confirms that quests will not reward all appearances in the War Within. Now, this is contrary to what a lot of us believed, and actually what we've been seeing on beta recently. So a lot of people thought that because transmog is going warband bound, that when you finish a quest, you'll essentially get the plate, the leather, the cloth, all the transmog that's going to come with it, even if you can't equip some of it. Well, Blizzard just confirmed that is not the case. Yeah, so in a blue post recently, someone asked, hey, why am I now on my dwarf character? Why am I not getting all the transmog that I was before when I complete a quest? And it looks like they confirmed that that is not the case. That's not what's supposed to happen. And the reason why we all believe that is because in an interview, Morgan Day had said that, we're going to get quests, and quests will grant you the transmog and should be retroactive. And then you should also get it with your warbands coming out in the War Within. Any items that you have in your bank will also go to inventory and be collectible, so don't delete your items. That's kind of what he got into. But based on Morgan Day's answer here to this question about collectors and transmog and quests, everyone thought, when you complete a quest, it's going to go ahead and give you everything. It doesn't matter what you pick because, we're doing transmog for everyone now. Well, yeah, it's not the case. And again, the feedback link was given to this person, so maybe they'll give some feedback, as many others will, I'm sure, because a lot of people were kind of excited about this. And maybe they'll retroactively change it so this continues to be the case, where you just get everything. But we'll have to wait and see. As of now, it looks like when you complete a quest, you're still limited to the item that you choose. We interrupt this news segment to bring you a message from Samiccus. Now, I'm known by many names. Some call me the Killer of Furries, other Lord of Edges. But I prefer a man of the people, and that's why I'm giving back once again. We're doing a giveaway. It's going to be an epic edition. You can get your early access, your mounts, your effects, everything else. All you have to do is join the stream and watch one measly hour. One little hour of stream will get you 1 point to enter the giveaway. Every hour beyond that gives you more points. Subscribers will get 5 extra entries once they enter the giveaway. Guys, get in here. The War Within is quickly approaching. August 21st, I'll announce a winner for that early access on 22nd. Moving on, the War Within launch. 11.0.2 is going live on August 13th. Blizzard has confirmed it. Now, what is coming up with this patch? Well, it's all of those crazy class changes, guys. All of those class changes that we just talked about. I mean, the pages go on and on. We're talking about nerfs. We're talking about buffs. We're talking about reworks. So all of this is going live, as I said, on August 13th. So you'll basically have about a week and a half to test out your new class talents. Your new class rebalances, everything that's going to be coming with that. Now, hero talents and stuff, you're still going to have to wait to be able to do that stuff. But in terms of like your general base stats and how things are going to work on your current talent tree, you're going to know for the next week and a half. So going through all of this stuff again, if you want to know the details of, hey, is my class nerfed, is my class buffed, every spec back and forth, you can go ahead and go to my channel and watch this video that I dropped yesterday, New Class Buffs and Nerfs 11.0.2, as beta comes to a close. There you go. Watch that video. I get into the details of every single class, every single spec, and every single thing you gotta know. Hint, hint, holy paladins are getting bitch slapped. But moving on from there, let's talk about the current DPS standings, because these are the final standings as we head into patch 11.0.2. So this is it. This is like basically the close of everything we know and the opening of everything that's coming. So let's check out where the final standings, I should say, really, of Dragonflight as we know it are. Here we go. Beast Mastery Hunter finishing out on top. Arms Warrior and Fury Warrior coming up the rear real quick. Now this is overall damage here. Frost DK, Elemental Shaman finishing strong. It was good to see Shamans finally get to the top somewhere. They're usually bottoms, if you know what I mean. So it's really nice to see them here finishing in the top 5 of the expansion. That's not bad at all. Retribution Paladin, to me, Pallies, had a great expansion. Dragonflight was very nice for them, very kind to them. Add the Legendary on top of that, and Retribution did a fantastic job. Ass Rogue coming up right behind him. Now, Rogues in general, if you remember, Sub Titty and Ass were some of the best specs in the game for quite a while when it came to DPS. They fell off for a little bit, almost too hard, and then came back slightly towards the end. So overall, I think Rogues actually had a decent expansion too. Feral Druid, it's been alright. Windwalker Monk, okay. Unholy Death Knight, we know Unholy has been a great single target, and we'll look at single target DPS. Unholy And Death Knights in general really had a good expansion across the board, so that's where they finished. Augmentation Evoker had a pretty good expansion too, you know, part of the meta for a lot of things, so that's good to see. And I think Blizzard will continue to, you know, keep augmentation up. Going through, you know, again, a little hint of all the stat changes. There were some nerfs to Devastation Evoker, but I believe Augmentation's kind of sitting sturdy. You know, they're the only real support class. So they'll continue to be sturdy until maybe Blizzard adds more support classes into the game. Marksmanship Hunter, not bad. Again, Hunter overall did pretty good. I think they always had somebody that was somewhat in the top, you know, 5 to 10 range. Hunters were not bad this one. Havoc Demon Hunter coming up here. Shadow Priest, you know, the list goes on and on. Warlocks had a time to shine and a time where they didn't during this expansion. What can I say? And then Mage as well, I talked about a little bit. Frost, Mage, Arcane. They've had their moments where they were the best and moments where they weren't, so it kind of flip-flopped around. Let's look at overall boss damage, because this is the one where you really pop off. This is the one that kind of matters for a lot of people. Here we go. Beast Mastery Hunter still finishing on top. This is kind of surprising, actually, because Unholy was there for a very long time. But we see Beast Mastery Hunter, Arms Warrior, Ret Pally, as I said, Paladins, great expansion for them. Elemental Shaman, Furry Warrior, as I like to call it, Frost DK, Feral Druid, Ass Rogue, Augmentation. Not many differences between this chart, actually, and the one we just looked at, so everyone's pretty much stacking up the same. Let's talk a little bit about the people at the bottom. Demonology Warlock, Outlaw Rogue, Fire Mage, Enhancement Shaman. Sad to see some of these. Enhancement actually had a period during the expansion where it was pretty viable and good. And, you know, it always brings those nice melee buffs. So a lot of people wanted to bring Enhancement Shamans into raids and stuff. So I don't feel too bad for them. But, yeah, right now they're finishing at the bottom. Now, again, take all this with a grain of salt. Let's see how people moved towards the end here. Not much movement, of course, because all the big movement is about to hit on the 13th, as we just mentioned. So the biggest movers up at the very end here, Havoc.
We have a realm to destroy.
Matt Tunix, thank you for the follow, man, and welcome to our Scourge. Yes, thank you, I appreciate that. The biggest mover up was Havoc Demon Hunter, 4 spots up. Biggest movers down, Marksmanship Hunter and Devastation Evoker, 3 spots down each. Like I said, not much movement, because the real movement is going to hit when 11.0.2 goes live. That's where we're getting all the new changes, all the class buffs and nerfs and everything else that's coming out. So prepare yourselves to log in that day, and basically your character is going to feel a bit different than it has in quite a while. Last but not least here, we all know that Dragonflight is going to be the starting point for any new character in the game, right? Anytime you log in to World of Warcraft for the first time, if you're making a new character from now on, Dragonflight will be the start of World of Warcraft for these people. And I talked about this previously, that I think Dragonflight is actually a nice reset to some of the storylines. Sets up the World Soul Saga pretty nicely. Kind of tosses away some Shadowlands and everything. Just get rid of it. You don't need to know that shit. And it looks like Blizzard dropped this really cool thing. If you logged in recently, you saw this already. But this is the story so far for World of Warcraft. This is probably the cinematic that a lot of new players are going to get when they first log in, to kind of catch them up so they understand what's going on in the game. So I just wanted to watch this real quick, since I didn't really watch it on stream or react to it, and we can check this out and see how the story so far lines up with the War Within.
From the moment the Dark Titan Sargeras plunged his colossal blade into our world,
just
crucial events were set in motion. Magni Bronzebeard heard the cries of Azeroth, giving up everything to answer her call.
Since being wounded by the Mad Titan, Azeroth has been crying out in pain.
She sure has.
As her dutiful speaker, he rallied the champions to her aid, and ultimately to confront the return of the old god, N'Zoth.
Right, so it kind of takes you through, if you notice, that storyline of BFA and everything. Even though Dragonflight is the start point, it's kind of leading you up to, you know, what happened before Dragonflight.
It was during this
the important
conflict
stuff
that Xal'atath, a mysterious entity of the Void, made a deal with N'Zoth, freeing her from the cursed blade that bound her essence within.
Honor our bargain. Free me to find my own fate.
After she vanished into the darkness, N'Zoth was confronted by the mortal champions and destroyed, ending the...
Was he destroyed, man? I guess he was. I mean, even in the cinematic, Xal'atath says that the old gods are dead. It's kind of disappointing. I was hoping N'Zoth kind of survived in a way, and maybe he did. He did keep the dagger, which managed to hold the essence of the Harbinger Zalatath for quite a while. So maybe he kept a shred of his essence in that dagger somewhere. And one day we'll find it and realize, hey, N'Zoth ain't really dead. Because he's the ultimate planner. Really? He got outduped by us? Even though he knew it was coming, because in Dragonflight he actually sees his future in the beginning of the expansion? I don't know. I hope N'Zoth survived. Some way.
The old god's reign of terror. But they were not the only malevolent force with its eyes set on Azeroth.
Oh,
Soon,
no.
the sky
Don't
was
look.
sundered, the Shadowlands
We don't need to know this.
and our heroes were pulled into the realm of death itself.
Go, champion! Go!
It was there that Anduin Rin endured the worst. Captured, tortured, and through dark domination magics, forced to commit terrible acts.
Bam. Right there. Class conversion into a Death Knight. This was probably the best thing that ever happened to him. I mean, he became a Death Knight. And by the way, Anduin himself said he kind of liked it. Yeah, of course he did. It's the best class in the game.
Against his will.
I'm afraid that if I call on the light, it won't answer.
Scarred and shaken by his experience, he vanished, his whereabouts unknown. After the threat of the Shadowlands had been quelled, the dragons of Azeroth returned to
Enter
their
Dragonflight.
ancestral homeland. It was here that the primal dragon, Iridikron, broke free of his prison, and in pursuit of vengeance upon the Titans who he felt had stolen our world, he secured an ancient, powerful artifact, the Dark Heart.
When the Titans come
Oh, yeah.
to reclaim their prize, I will be.
Iridikron, by the way, I think is actually a pretty damn good villain. He's probably the best thing that came out of Dragonflight. You know, all the dragon aspects and everything, they got really soft. It's kind of weird towards the end. But Iridikron, he's a badass, and he's kind of been forgotten because right now Zalatath, you know, rightfully so, she's very hot, so it's kind of hard not to just think about her. But she is the main, you know, forefront villain right now. So Iridikron's kind of been forgotten, but I think that's by design. By Iridikron's design. He kind of wants to be forgotten for now until he is ready for those Titans to come down, and then he's going to bait them into a battle of some sort and win. That's his plan at the end of the day. So, yeah, Iridikron going forward, definitely going to be important. He's a cool villain. I actually like him personally. He's the coolest villain in quite a while because he also knows that the player character is someone who should be feared. And he's kind of avoided direct conflict with us for quite a while now. And he's a pretty smart villain, to be honest.
Waiting.
As word of this new threat started to spread, people began experiencing strange visions. The Radiant Song.
It's being heard all across Azeroth. The Council doesn't know what to make of it.
It was then that Illyria Windrunner, a deadly huntress who had harnessed the powers of the Void as a weapon against the darkness, was summoned to investigate.
We still don't know what this Dark Heart relic is capable of, but we do know it's in the hands of someone called the Harbinger.
It was not long before Illyria discovered the Harbinger's true identity. Zalatath, the mysterious figure, was once again on the move.
That's right.
While neither Zalatath nor the Dark Heart could be found, her mentor, the enigmatic Locust Walker, issued Illyria a dire warning.
The radiant visions you spoke of are the very same my people had before our world was consumed by the void.
This cinematic is so damn good. If you haven't seen it, I'd suggest going and watching it. But Locust Walker took a step forward for me during this cinematic. He's actually a really, really cool guy. He's kind of mysterious, still not sure why he's helping us. Maybe he just wants to get back at Zalatath for destroying his planet. But awesome cinematic, very well done.
Void Lord Dimensius.
Could Zalatath be seeking that same fate for Azeroth?
You must find a way to stop her. If you cannot, then Azeroth is already doomed.
That's very cool. This was a nice little recap, and I think it's what Blizzard's really going to use to kind of catch players up, again, who make new characters or who are rejoining the game for the first time in quite a while. Sets up the War Within very nicely. And guys, we're fast approaching here. The 22nd early access is just around the corner.